Oh, here we go.
Tits.
Hi guys! You know, male feminism has always seemed strange to me. I've heard feminists claim that feminism helps men, and others state that it is not for men and that they should have nothing to do with it. So let's see if we can clarify this issue just a little bit.
Recently, last night, I watched a video regarding feminism, and as I was watching it, I scrolled down to the comments, and there was one comment near the top of the section. It read, "I am a male feminist. It is a real thing." Okay, let's back up the fucking truck and go through the lack of necessity in that comment.
From what I understand, you're implying that to be a man and proud to be a feminist, so proud that you feel the need to shout it out, somehow automatically insinuates that you are just another typical male trying to dominate women by taking ownership of something that never belonged to you in the first place.
1. Male feminists aren't a thing. No matter where you lie on the gender spectrum, you are either a feminist or you're not a feminist. Quite often, cisgender white men like to take over things that aren't theirs.
So why would anyone want to loudly declare that they support a movement that they don't belong to? I'll tell you why. Thanks to feminism and its influence over high media platforms, the general consensus is that to not support feminism is a declaration of sexism towards women. That if you do not consider yourself a feminist, then somehow you are a horrible, morally incorrect person. Now, who wants to be labelled as a bigot or sexist or morally incorrect? No one who considers themselves to be a decent person, that's for sure. So by the process of elimination, men will declare themselves feminists to avoid the guilt bashing that goes with not being one.
Would you ever consider yourself a feminist?
Yes.
No, I can't say I can.
Yeah, I believe I am. Yeah, absolutely.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I would consider myself a feminist.
No, I don't think so.
How would you feel to realize you were a feminist?
It's cool. It's cool with me.
Oh, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either.
I'm a little afraid to admit you sound a bit like a feminist.
Now on, I'm going to label myself a feminist.
And also, in my opinion, the term male feminist ties in with the nice guy mentality that so many feminists became feminists over.
I'm a nice guy. I'm a male feminist. Like, I'm siding with you. Please fucking ban me right now.
So what are men to think? Some say that feminism is not for men, while others insist that feminism benefits men. Either way, if you don't concede to supporting feminism, this makes you a bad person. To be honest, I think most men say they support feminism to avoid the ear bashing, and who could blame them?
I think you are secretly sexist, and you probably won't put this in the video, but...
Well, no, I mean,
take a look at your bookshelf. Take a look at your music collection.
My music collection.
I always give you crap about that, because it's true.
Well, I'm not. I didn't ask you because I wanted to deny that I have sexist attitudes. I know that I do, but
you admit it, so therefore.
And since I admit it, it's okay.
In my mind, using the phrase male feminist to describe yourself is just another way of asserting your dominance and trying to one-up women.
I don't understand where this man guilt comes from. As a woman, I would say that our gender actually feels more entitlement than men. Men are simple. Women demand the diamond ring, the expensive wedding, the financial security, the choice to work or stay at home if they please, and to be protected from harm.
You shouldn't be rewarding men for being feminists. I meant to mention this earlier, but then I scrolled down in my script and I completely forgot about it. Quite a lot of the 200 and something replies to the comment that I previously mentioned were, "Oh my god, give him a cookie. Oh my god, please marry me. I've never met a male feminist before." Rewarding men for being feminists is fueling the sense of entitlement that we are all born with over women.
A lot of men, as a direct result of feminism, don't feel entitled to the approval of women, but rather desperate to gain women's approval. Men who are so intimidated at the thought of trying to hit on a woman that they remain single far into their 30s. or men who can't be bothered with the head games and trying to figure out what women want from them, that they choose to give up on women altogether.
As men, we believe we are entitled to the approval of women. To my memory, I've never expressed this entitlement outwardly, but I have felt it inwardly, and since I have tried to educate myself, it's been less and less, but it's still there and it always will be there. We're conditioned to believe that we are superior to women and we deserve what they can give us.
To say that men are conditioned to believe that they are superior to women is very condescending. That any individual male, such as yourself, cannot access the logical parts of their brain that allow them to think for themselves outside of what you say society tells them.
What we need is to be unconditioned. And number 3, does it really fucking matter? Shouldn't everybody be a feminist?
No, everybody should not be a feminist. While the definition that feminists love to fap over states equality between the sexes, there are those who associate themselves to this movement who clearly desire female superiority over men.
I mean, success in feminism is gender equality and it benefits everybody of every gender identity and expression, including men. Oh, you probably don't believe me, do you?
And even those feminists who think what they're fighting for is a just cause cannot see what is happening to men as a result. One only needs to look at the outcome of inequality towards men that is a direct result of feminism. Companies are paying women more based solely on their gender, regardless of position or experience. Women are receiving benefits specific to their gender, like period leave. Some argue that women should receive 77% less penalties when committing the same crime a man has. Men are being excluded from job opportunities. A movement that portrays women as the victims of a male patriarchal society breeds guilt from men and over-entitlement from women. And when this happens, it's no longer a movement of equality, it's a movement that seeks to make sure women succeed over men.
Statistically, more women have depression than men. However, statistically, men are more likely to commit suicide than women.
Here's an article from a well-known Australian feminist. She argues that although men succeed at committing suicide more, women statistically try to commit suicide more than men do, and so women deserve more attention in regards to depression and suicide. I find this attitude extremely disturbing, because instead of saying both male and female suicide is tragic and should be equally discussed and highlighted, men are more privileged than women, so it deserves less of a spotlight.
The phenomenon of toxic masculinity conditions men to believe that they must be stoic and emotionless.
Toxic masculinity is bullshit. Feminists will say that patriarchy has conditioned men to feel like they can't be emotional, that somehow masculinity is detrimental to men and they don't have the choice to be as emotional as they like. I love how this is supposed to be something that feminism claims can help with, yet the blame, once again, is placed on men. You hear stories of women who are completely turned off by male feminists because they are too feminine and not masculine enough.
It's a deep-rooted psychological way of expressing dominance over women. And due to these unwritten psychological laws, men feel like they don't have an outlet for their emotions and thus... you catch my drift.
No, please stop. Stop blaming social constructs. What if it's just men's choice to not be emotional? What if it's a personal preference to link outward displays of emotion as redundant? Men aren't fucking invalids. Perhaps men do know how to vent emotion, but they choose to do it in private. So with this confusion of what feminism is, and if it really does do anything to help men, I would say to men, don't be afraid to say you're not one. Don't fear the repercussion of being labelled a misogynist or sexist just because you don't support a movement that has nothing to offer you. A movement where, quite frankly, you're not wanted.
No, feminism is not for men. Feminism is not for men.
Tits.